コロナなんてクソくらえ。こんにちは、ジャパニーズアモのミサです。Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you 2 Japanese magical words that will instantly make you sound like a native speaker. I introduce you to nante, nanka. Have you heard your friends say, 仕事なんか行きたくない? Well, I have. Most of my friends unfortunately don't like their jobs in Japan, at least. And they always say this to me. 仕事なんか行きたくない. Or 仕事なんか辞めたい. So this means I don't want to go to work or I want to quit my job. Here you can just say 仕事行きたくない or 仕事に行きたくない. You can omit the ni particle when speaking informally. So 仕事行きたくない. I don't want to go to work or 仕事辞めたい. Again, you can omit the o particle in front of 辞める, 仕事辞める without this nanka. But adding this nanka really expresses the speaker's hatred towards the noun in front of nanka. So in this case, 仕事. It's like, oh, work, I hate you. Hate is quite a strong word, but anything that you look down on or you just don't find it great, you can add nanka or nante. So, excuse my French, well here, Japanese, but コロナなんてクソくらえ has become such a popular phrase. So, corona is how we say COVID, corona. And this nante is expressing all the negative feelings possible towards corona. コロナなんて And then クソくらえ is like screw you. I don't really want to swear, but F off, F you. Saying クソ is not as bad as saying the F word, for example. But it's not a pretty word. But I think everyone is now allowed to say クソ when talking about corona at this point because it's just ridiculous. 本当にバカバカしい. So technically you could just say コロナクソくらえ but again コロナなんてコロナなんかクソくらえ sounds more natural, more it makes you sound more emotional, which makes you sound more like a native speaker, less like a robot. Because this is an optional thing, right? It's more to add the nuance, emotion. A lot of AI, translators, Google, Siri, those robots wouldn't be able to add this word nanka, nante. Well, if I'm wrong, then you should be worried about robots taking over the world soon. Yeah, so you can use this nante, nanka, kuso kurae about other things as well. But again, it's quite a rude thing to say, so be careful where you use it. Don't use it in front of your teachers and get told off and blame Misa Sensei. Oh, but Misa Sensei said we can use it. No, don't do that. You can use it in front of your close Japanese friends, for example. Or コロナなんてクソくらい. If you're talking about corona, I think people would understand. It's fair enough. You can say クソ about corona. It is a クソ thing. Anyway. Another example, this is what my mom said. If you have watched my video about Christmas, maybe, you know that this is what my mom said. ママ、今年はサンタさんから PS5 が欲しいの。サンタさんなんかいないの。Basically, I was talking about Santa-san, Santa Claus, and she was in a really bad mood. She said something like, Santa なんていないの or サンタなんかいないの Santa Claus なんか she was fed up with the idea of Santa Claus so she added nanka. Nanka can often be translated as such things as something like, so things like Santa Claus, someone like Santa Claus, いない doesn't exist. So you can say noun, nante or nanka, da 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 da. And usually you can express your negative feelings towards it. Not always, I'm gonna explain that later. But yeah, So 仕事なんか嫌い。I hate my job. Or I don't like cucumbers. I can eat them. Like, 食べられるけど好きじゃない。So generally I don't want cucumbers in my salad. I could say サラダにキュウリなんて入れないで。or サラダにキュウリなんか入れないで。Do not put an abomination such as cucumbers in my salad. Yeah, more like don't put something like cucumber, which I hate, in my salad. Or pickles, we say pickles. Again, I can't eat them. I'm not gonna complain, but I would rather not have pickles in my burgers. So I could say ハンバーガーにピクルスなんていらない。or 私のハンバーガーにピクルスなんていらない。or something なんか食べたくない。I don't want to eat something like blah, blah, blah. So, do you guys know 納豆? It's like stinky beans. So you can say 納豆なんて食べたくない。or 納豆なんか食べたくない。I don't want to eat 納豆. Like, ew. So again, you can just say 納豆食べたくない。Right? That's fine. But if you add 納豆なんて, the listeners will immediately know that you don't like 納豆. You have strong opinions about 納豆. Okay, it's nothing like swearing, so do not worry about sounding rude. It's more emotional. Or someone has done horrible things to you and they're trying to solve the issues with money and they're offering money. Like, 1万円でいい? Like, can we settle with 10,000 yen, which is like $100? And you can say, お金なんかいらない。お金なんていらない。I don't need money. So again, you put emphasis on the word money, right? So you want maybe an apology. It's like, お金なんていらない。謝って。And also you will often hear 私なんて、僕なんて、俺なんて、or 私なんか、俺なんか、僕なんか。After now, you can use nante or nanka. When you say the pronoun for I plus nanka, it makes you sound like you're not very confident or modest. For example, I could say, 私なんか試験に受からないよ。Someone like me, I can't pass the exam. 俺なんか勝てないよ。There is no chance for someone like me to win. Or 私なんかと付き合いたいの? You want to go out with someone like me? Like, I'm not good enough for you. Or when somebody makes a love confession, I have a video on that. You can say 私なんかでいいの? 私なんかでいいの? You want me? Okay, so you will hear this 私なんか私なんて a lot. You can also say, for example, time or length of time, nanka, nante, or counters, the quantity, nanka, nante. For example, 5分なんて短すぎる。5分なんて短すぎる。5分, 5 minutes. And 短い is short, 短すぎる, too short. So 5 minutes is not enough. 5 minutes is too little. Again, you can say 5分は短すぎる or 5分短すぎる. But adding nante, nanka makes you sound very natural. You can even add the word だけ and say 5分だけなんて短すぎる. But yeah, more natural than 5分だけは短すぎる. Or somebody tells you to wake up at 4 a.m. and you think that's too early. And you want to say, 4 a.m.? I can't wake up at 4 a.m. You say, 4時なんかに起きられない。4時なんかに起きれない more importantly. So I'm going to explain this more later, but basically when you want to add particles, you can only use nanka. So you can say nanka particle, but not nante particle. But later. So 4時なんかに起きられない。Or somebody tells you to pay 1 million yen, which is like $10,000. And you will say, I don't have 1 million yen. That's crazy. That amount is crazy. You can say 100万円なんか持ってない。100万円なんか持ってない。I think I mentioned this in the lesson where I talked about shika only. You can also do quantity mo. So you add the mo particle to express that is a lot of it. The amount is big. So you can also say 100万円も持ってない。But this mo can be negative or positive. For example, you earned 500,000 yen in a month. And you think that's a positive thing, good thing. Then you can say 今月は50万円も稼げた。稼ぐ to earn. You can also say 稼いだ。稼げた. That's the past tense of the potential form 稼げる. To be able to earn. So, was able to earn. 稼げた。50万円も稼げた. So, this more particle just expresses that that's a big number. Well, this nanka, if I say 100万円なんか持ってない, it's like, are you kidding me? Like, you're actually saying this number? I'm saying that's ridiculous. Now, let me explain the differences between nante and nanka. If you use nante or nanka after noun to express like negative feelings, like hatred, disrespect towards the noun in front of it, there is really no difference. Some people might say nanka is slightly more informal, but the difference is tiny. But here's one of the differences. You can only use nante after a verb or an adjective. So you can do noun, nanka, noun, nante, but verb, nante only, or adjective, nante. For example, if somebody is late and you are saying, I can't believe he was late, you can put the verb to be late plus nante. And for example, you can say, 信じられない can't believe. For example, 初めてのデートに1時間も遅れるなんて信じられない。初めてのデートに1時間も遅れるなんて信じられない。初めてのデート first date 遅れる to be late, right? 1時間 an hour. This more, remember? It's saying that that's too long. An hour is too long to wait. 1時間も遅れるなんて. Right, so more and nante can be in the same sentence. But this nante is modifying the verb 遅れる to be late. So I'm saying that being late is a terrible thing that I despise. 信じられない. So I can't believe that he or she was late for an hour. An hour! Because of mo. Yeah, you can actually get rid of 信じられない and say 初めてのデートに1時間も遅れるなんて And the listener will know that you are in shock in a bad way. Or if you want to say, there is no way I can do, you can say verb なんてできるわけない. Again, I have a lesson on this わけない. But it's like, there's no way I can do. For example, これを一人で動かすなんてできるわけない。これを一人で動かす is to move this alone なんてできるわけない。There's no way I can. So, you can simplify this sentence and say これを一人で動かせない。For example, you can just use the negative or potential form 動かせない。Or you can say これを一人で動かせるわけない。But again, 動かす, so the dictionary form, なんてできるわけない. You add the nuance that's outrageous, impossible. So verb なんて, right? And adjective なんて as well, not なんか. For example, トイレがこんなに汚いなんて最悪. 最悪 is like the worst, it sucks. You will hear this なんて最悪 a lot. Horrifying how dirty the toilet is. I hate the fact that this toilet is this dirty. こんなに is this much. 汚い dirty. なんて like ugh. That's all the negative feelings towards the word 汚い。汚いなんて最悪。Alright, so that's one of the differences. Another one. Nanka can be used in front of particles such as ga, o, ni, to, e, or even particles like yori. So you will always say nanka ga, not nante ga. Sounds weird. So, for example, 私なんかが勝てた. Someone like me was able to win. You're a bit surprised because you're not confident in yourself. Or 納豆なんかが好きなの? Do you really like 納豆? Something such as 納豆. Right, so you can't say 納豆なんてが好き. Although, remember we can omit the particles when speaking informally, so you can still do 納豆なんて好きなの? But there are particles that you can't omit, right? For example, the to particle. When you say with somebody, you have to keep the to particle there. So for example, 私なんかと付き合いたいの? Remember that sentence? Like, do you want to go out with someone like me? Or the de particle, which can mean by using. So you could, for example, say, フォークなんかで寿司を食べないで. Don't eat sushi with forks. I actually have seen people eat sushi with forks and knives in Europe. I was shocked because, I mean, obviously it's only the minority. But I was, shocked. I mean, like, I obviously make loads of mistakes as a Japanese person as well. If the Italians would have seen little Misa eating pizza with rice, they would be like, oh, mamma mia. Sorry. It sounds disgusting, but one, it actually tasted good. And also two, I was really poor. So I had to, I couldn't afford a big pizza just for myself. I had to share with my sister and my mom, right? So you lovely Italian people could tell me, ピザをお米なんかと一緒に食べないで. ピザを食べないで is don't eat pizza, but お米 is rice. You can say ご飯, but ご飯 can mean meals as well as rice. So to specify that we are talking about rice. お米と一緒に. So it's like along with something 食べないで. Or for some reason you really hate Japan, you can say 日本なんかに行きたくない. Right? So なんかにの日本なんてに日本なんかに行きたくない. Or with より like than compared to. So for example, 私なんかよりいい人がいるよ. That's also another common phrase used to reject somebody's love confession. 私なんかよりいい人見つかるよ. Or 私なんかよりいい人たくさんいるよ. There are loads of people better than me, better than someone like me. Alright, another difference is that nanka can only be used about something you don't like, something you disrespect, something you feel negative feelings towards. Whereas nante can be used about something good. You will often hear this nanka and then negative words like noun, nanka, 最悪, 嫌い, クソくらえ, right? But with nante, you will also hear nante, すごい. This is very common. Remember, you can use nante with verbs and adjectives and nouns. So it's very easy to make a sentence with nante. But let me show you an example with a noun. For example, 25歳で社長なんてすごい. 25歳で社長なんてすごい. It's awesome, it's amazing that you are a president of a company, 社長. at the age of 25. So 社長 is a noun. So 社長なんてすごい. Doesn't have to be 社長, right? Like it can be a different kind of president. You can say 大統領なんてすごい. 40歳で大統領なんてすごい. But this なんてすごい is often used with verbs. It doesn't have to be すごい. It can be anything positive. For example, you find someone who can play guitar. Cool. You'd say ギター弾けるなんてかっこいい. Wow, so cool that you can play guitar. Or ピアノ弾けるなんてすごい. Or someone can speak 5 languages. 5カ国語 is how we say 5 languages. So 5カ国語 can speak. 話せるなんてすごい. 5カ国語話せるなんてすごい. Or it doesn't have to be 5 languages. It's amazing you are learning Japanese, but I can say 日本語話せるなんてすごい. 日本語話せるなんて感動. 感動 is like it moves me. You often use 感動 about films, like emotional films. Or you notice someone had a haircut and they say they did it themselves. Like 自分で切ったんだ. And you can say, わあ、自分で切ったなんてすごい. 自分で切ったなんて信じられない. 信じられない. I can't believe can be used positively, right? With the correct tone of your voice. So if you say, 自分で切ったなんて信じられない. Like, I can't believe you actually cut your hair yourself. And it's like not a good thing. But if I say it like, 自分で切ったなんて信じられない. Like, it's so good, I can't believe that you did it yourself. Or even you want to say, I respect people. You can also use 尊敬する to respect. 尊敬する. You can say, for example, 人を助ける仕事をしてるなんて尊敬する. 人を助ける仕事をしてるなんて尊敬する. Or if you're studying every day, amazing. Do you know the word 偉い? It's like, good job. 偉い. You shouldn't say this to older people or people you're supposed to talk formally with. You can say to your friends, your family, although maybe your parents wouldn't like it because they're older. So your friends, your partners, you can say 偉い. So 毎日勉強してるなんて偉い. Teachers can definitely say this to students. 毎日勉強してるなんて偉い. Or I would say 日本語を勉強してるなんて偉い. Or words like いいな, I'm jealous. ずるい, that's unfair. Depending on the tone of your voice again, you can use it negatively or positively, right? For example, 外見が良くて頭もいいなんてずるい. It's unfair that you are good looking and smart. 外見 is appearance. 外見が良くていい, 良くて good and 頭もいい. Your head is also good, literally. So you're smart as well. なんて. So those qualities, wow. ずるい. That's unfair. And instead of ずるい, I can also say いいな. Like, I'm jealous. Like, 毎月旅行できるなんていいな. I'm jealous that you get to travel every month. 毎月旅行できるなんていいな. Or if you're jealous that somebody looks good in every outfit, for example, 何でも似合うなんていいな. 何でも it's like anything, whatever. 似合う like goes well, suits somebody. なんていいな. Alright, so なんてnanka can mean more things, but that's it for today. You're gonna sound more natural with this nante and nanka. So, to summarize, about something negative, you can use both nante and nanka. But about something good, something you admire, you can only use nante. And in front of nante, you can put a noun, a verb, an adjective, anything. In front of nanka, on the other hand, you can only put a noun. But nante cannot be used with particles, so you can't do nante ga, nante ni, but you can do nanka ga, nanka ni, nanka o, okay? But there are particles that can be omitted when speaking informally, like the ga particle, the o particle, the ni particle. So a lot of particles can be omitted. Then you can use nante. Just as long as it's not with the particle, nante can be there. So I think there are loads of example sentences that are useful to use. But you can, for example, also say 漢字2000字なんか覚えられない。漢字2000字なんか覚えられない。This is how a lot of beginners would feel. 2000, 2000. 字 is how we count letters. 覚えられない。覚える to memorize. 覚えられる can memorize. 覚えられない cannot memorize. And also, you will hear お前なんか a lot in anime and in drama as well. You shouldn't say this, but kids sometimes say お前なんか死んじゃえ and get in trouble. It's a very horrible thing to say, so don't say it. But it's like you will hear this probably in anime. Like someone like you should just die. It's terrible. But yeah, お前なんか plus a horrible thing. お前なんかどっか行っちゃえ Go away. お前なんかの顔もう見たくない It's also another common hurtful thing to say. Like, I don't ever want to see your face again. So don't abuse nante nanka, right? You can use it to hurt somebody. But it's really, the problem is actually the word like shine and stuff. So, Anyway, do try using this nante nanka. I know I talk about this a lot, but this really affected my January. So I'd say, 親知らずなんかいらない. Like, we don't need wisdom teeth, right? Pointless. 親知らずなんか. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. 最後まで見てくれたなんて嬉しいです. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you could consider supporting me on Patreon, I would forever be grateful. Alright, じゃあまたね. Bye bye.